Hey y'all, good morning. This is your girl, this is your coach, Tonetta. I want to welcome y'all here to this video. Today, the topic is, do you hear the words that are coming, or do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And the reason why I'm doing this video this morning comes out of the conversation that my partner and I were having yesterday. Of course, a lot of times we can, of course, hear people. We hear the words that they're saying, but do we understand what they're saying? Do we understand the context behind what they're saying? Like I said, that's what this video is all about. Again, I'm Tonetta, your certified life coach, here to, of course, inspire you to think bigger and empower you to be who you are. So let's get into it, y'all. Like I said, when it comes to communication and understanding what the person is saying, we have, and not just hearing them. Yes, we can listen all day long, and we have good listening skills and all these kind of things. But if you don't understand where that person is coming from, the context behind what they're saying, then you will not understand the conversation. A lot of times we want to, of course, sit here and go back and forth and argue back and forth over. A lot of times it's very trivial because we're not understanding where that other person's coming from. We have to understand that everybody does not go through the exact same things that we've been through. Everybody does not have the exact same beliefs and values and the environment growing up as we did. They all have different things. Everybody's unique. We all have a different set of values, beliefs, experiences, and the way that we view the world. You have to understand their view of the world, y'all, especially when you're talking about relationships and couples and that kind of thing. You have to understand, like I said, the context behind what they are saying. If you know, of course, that person had a broken childhood or whatever it is, growing up, or domestic violence in the household, and every time that you all are watching a movie and there is somebody hitting someone, they're getting triggered, you have to understand the context behind that and not just get upset and that kind of thing and fly off the handle and say it's not even worth it. What's the point? Why you're doing this? Why you're doing that? You have to, when y'all are having conversations like that, you have to understand where that person's also coming from. It's not just your world and your way and your way is the highway. It's that person's world and their way as well. Like I said, we all have to learn at some point, like I said, to understand the words that are coming out of somebody's mouth, not just hear them. Like I said, we can listen all day long, but if you're not understanding where that person's coming from, then you're missing the whole point of what those words actually meant. I guess I put it that way. And like I said, this video came out of my partner and I conversation yesterday. We were having a conversation about, what was it about actually? Lord, I forgot what it was about. Well, whatever the conversation was about, because I can't even think of it right now, but we were having a conversation yesterday. I'm trying to think, what in the world was the conversation? Oh, it was about like our household chores and dividing up the chores and making sure that things were done. That's what it was about. Because I was going to say, what was our conversation about? But it was about household chores, of course, the finances and that kind of thing too. The vehicles, making sure that we had things in order because we're, of course, getting ready to move soon. And like I said, just trying to make sure we had all those things in order. That's what the conversation was about. He was saying something. We both were saying the same exact thing, but it was just coming out a different way and we were understanding it a different way. I guess I put it that way. We don't normally argue at all. We, of course, always just come to it, just sit down, I guess on the, what is it called, Facebook Messenger, sitting down talking, I guess I put it that way, because he was at work yesterday evening. But like I said, just making sure that you're sitting down with your partner. I don't care if it's face-to-face or like we were yesterday on the Messenger, on the video, as long as you're giving that person a chance to, of course, explain where they're coming from so that you can best understand them, then that's what needs to be done. Because I know a lot of times, I don't know how many relationships I've been in. I've been in several long-term ones. I was married, divorced back in the day, and that kind of thing. And not knowing how to communicate well with those partners, I guess I put it that way. Or at least I tried my best to communicate with those partners in the past. And like I said, the thing sometimes, of course, I'm not as triggered as I was now as I was back then. Because back then I hadn't fully worked on myself, that kind of thing. Hadn't dealt with the triggers, haven't dealt with I dealt with it a little bit, but not to the extent that I have now. And like I said, me not being able to understand those people, I heard what they said, but of course me hearing those things through hurt, through triggers, through pain, through unhealed things, like I said, that's all that I heard and that's all I could relate to. And I'm sure that was coming from their side as well. And like I said, at some point, once we realize that dealing with all that unhealed trauma and drama and those triggers and all that kind of stuff, we start seeing the world through unhurt eyes, I guess I put it that way, because I know I'm always saying that hurt people, and just believe that hurt people also hurt people through their, not just their words but they also do it through their actions as well. And like I said, when we are not healed like that, or not working through the healing process, we can definitely have a lot of drama and trauma that we're seeing the world through. And yes, it will make the communication worse, and you can't understand the other person because you're living in a world of, for me at least, it was survival mode and those kind of things, and autopilot, just trying to get from one day to the next and that kind of thing. I wasn't thinking about anything else back then. And like I said, it wasn't until I set myself down to actually work through the issues that I had. That's why I did that workshop a few weeks ago called The Power of Journaling. And that's exactly what I was talking about in there. I had to sit down and actually write out every single thing that I had been through and how it affected me and how my behaviors, whatever's going on with my behavior, the triggers, all those things. And like I said, that's the process that I went through. And like I said, I know I'm a lot happier, a lot have more inner peace and freedom, that kind of thing today because of that. And like I said, I understand this partner better. I guess I put it that way because of those things too. Like I said, before him, we've been together, Lord, I don't know how many years, y'all. I'm bad with the years. I think 3 or 4 years now. But before that, like I said, I've always had tumultuous, crazy relationships. Not fighting or that kind of thing. I guess like physically fighting, no. There was some emotional, I'm sure, very sure, for abuse from my side and the other person's side as well, going off, cursing each other out, that kind of thing all the time. I was cheated on back in my marriage. He had, 3, 4 kids by the time I left and that, found out and left and that kind of thing. Like I said, the relationships I was in before were just full of just chaos. And it wasn't until I, like I said, worked through the triggers, worked through the healing processes and all those kind of things that I can hear this person now and understand where they're coming from and be a little bit more empathetic, I guess I put it that way as well. And not just jump to conclusions all the time and this is going on, that's going on. The same way my partners in the past had done me as well. They're living their life through the hurt that they've been through and through the trauma that they've been through. And like I said, at some point you have to realize that in order for you to have healthier, have more whole relationships, have better relationships, that have better communication, that kind of thing, you have to start working through some of those things. Like I said, I know from my own trials and tribulations that when I was going through all the pain, the anger and all that kind of thing, I could not hear, even if it wasn't even my partner sometimes. It was friends that I had. It was in-laws that I had. It was coworkers that I had. It was other folks and that kind of thing that I ran into that I was being triggered by. And like I said, all kind of stuff was going on. And like I said, I had to sit back and realize that it was me, it wasn't them. I'm the one it could have been them as well to some extent, but as an adult, we have to take responsibility for our own actions, what we say, what we do, how we think, and all those types of things. And I had to realize that I was the one that had to get myself together in order for me to stop seeing the world through those hurt eyes, I guess I put it that way. And like I said, that definitely affects the communication that you have with people. Like I said, I know that now. I did not know that back in the day. I know that now. But like I said, it took me a long time. I'm 45, almost 46. I'll be 46 in September. And it's taken me a long time to get to this point, to realize and understand how all these things work together, I guess I put it that way. And I know I was reading I don't know if you all have been joining me for the Purpose Driven Life. I'm reading that book every night at 8 or 7, between 7 and 8. And one of the things that was in that book was talking about our relationship with God and how it has to be open, honest, and transparent. It's the same thing with the folks that you, of course, deal with, romantic or not, even your kids. It's the same, to me, it's the same exact thing. Kids, family, friends, your partner, no matter who it is, you have to get to a point where you can, of course, communicate yourself, what you mean, communicate whatever it is you're trying to get off your chest, well, so that others will understand, and in turn be able to, of course, internalize what they're saying as well, and understand the context behind what they're saying. That's what communication is, I guess I put it that way. At some point, I know I did a communication, a short course on it in the past. I will go back and find that course. I know I have it somewhere. I will go back and find that and make sure that you all, of course, see those videos so that you can understand the verbal communication, the listening skills, the nonverbal communication, because the nonverbals is like 90% of our communication. Doesn't matter what you say. It matters the way that you act and the way that you say it, your tone and all those kind of things. Like I said, I'll find that because I did like a mini course back in the day. I'll find that and get that posted up for you all so it can help some of you all. And like I said, because I know I needed that. I definitely needed something like that back when I was growing up. Didn't have it. Had to learn on my own. That's how I know how to teach you all today, I guess I put it that way. When it comes to your communication, when it comes to talking with your partners and that kind of thing as well, it can be very difficult. Like I said, especially if you're seeing the world through hurt eyes, but you have to understand in order to, of course, see the world in a better light, I guess I put it that way, you have to start working on those inner things. Yes, it may be the way the partner's coming off. It could be that as well. I'm not saying that. But as an adult, it's on us to, of course, fix ourselves. To fix ourselves, whether it's the healing, whether it's the communication, I don't care what it is, whether it's the finances, whether it's our relationships, whether it's our health and fitness, whatever it is, we have to fix ourselves. And like I said, as a life coach, of course, I'm here for you to plant the seeds and those kind of things. Of course, provide trainings and workshops and those kind of things as well. But at some point, I cannot be with you all day long, and I'm not going to be with you all day long. Like I said, you definitely have to learn to coach yourself through these situations when nobody else is around. I guess I put it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and get off this video because I am at work this morning. So I want to say thank you all for tuning in. And like I said, I hope that you all got something out of this video this morning. Again, this is called Do You Understand the Words That Are Coming Out of My Mouth? Making sure that you understand the context behind what somebody's saying. But in order for that to not be all wishy-washy and full of your triggers, full of your unhealed things, full of the childhood dramas and traumas, you have to make sure that you're flushing those things out of your system so that you can see the world through a healthier, more whole, more happier eyes, I guess I put it that way. So with that, again, I'm Tonetta, your certified life coach. I'm here to, of course, inspire you to think bigger and empower you to be who you are. And like I said, I'll see y'all tomorrow morning in the next morning video. But I hope that you all were able to get something out of this to take with you throughout your day, throughout the rest of this week, and throughout the rest of this month and the rest of the year when it comes to your own relationship. So with that, I want to say thank y'all. And also, I do want to point out, in the description of this video, there is a link for a free ebook that I wrote for you all. I think it's like, well, it should be 10 pages or less, but it's an ebook called Where Are You? That ebook will, of course, walk you through, like I just mentioned, that those relationships, that health and fitness, the finances, walk you through all that process so you can figure out where you are and try to, of course, plan for where you're trying to get to. So make sure that you get that ebook. Like I said yesterday, it will not be free for long, much longer, maybe like the next few weeks or a month at the most, because I'm going to be combining that with something else as a bonus. So just to let you all know. So with that, I want to say thank you all. Make sure that you're picking up the ebook, and I will talk to y'all in the next morning tea tomorrow. Take care, y'all. Have a good one.